Hello again, friends. I hope you're settling into some new quiet rhythms, like taking a few moments in the evening to press pause and step outside to savor the sun's brilliant sigh. I'd love for you to breathe deeply as you watch the clouds and the colors dance. A beautiful sunset does wonders for the soul. Perhaps you're also finding something you can do with your hands to be a blessing to someone else, like making a meal for a neighbor or driving an elderly friend to an appointment. Or maybe you're being more intentional to observe the Sabbath and make genuine rest a priority again. All of these small ways work together collectively to cultivate a quieter heart amidst a loud and restless world. Today, we are turning a corner and looking ahead to the third week in our 31-day journey. And I'd like for us to step outside our normal everyday activities, which are time-bound. And I'd like for us to consider the boundless expanse of eternity. I realize, of course, that it's hard for any of us to wrap our finite minds around the infinite nature of God. But one of the surest ways we can cultivate a quiet heart is to do as Paul says in Colossians chapter 3, verse 2, when he says to set our minds on things above, not on earthly things. For when our focus is on eternal things, then those stressful details of our current circumstances seem to dim in comparison. This isn't to say that when we do experience painful situations that we should try to gloss over them or put on this tranquil persona. That's not what it means to have a quiet heart. Finding sanctuary isn't about arriving at some nirvana-like destination. We still live in a broken world where there is pain and heartache. Having a quiet heart simply means that we trust that God is good, even when our circumstances are not. When we are walking through a season of sorrow, it helps us immensely when we can keep eternity in view. Because eternity with God means that whatever is afflicting us or our loved ones right now, it isn't going to last forever. Pain has an expiration date. To lead a quiet life is to hold the conviction that this life here and now is not all there is. There is a world beyond this world. It's a better world where a better life awaits. This is the crux of the hope we have because of Christ, who is our sanctuary. So when our circumstances threaten to unravel us, we are held by the Spirit of God inside us, knowing that no matter what happens, nothing in this world is permanent. By keeping eternity in view, this is how we can move through each day with a clear focus, a quiet confidence, and a steady peace. Because there's an inner resoluteness that comes from knowing there is a world beyond this world, and God is completely in control of all of it. I love that I get to invite you into this corner of my home. It's a quiet space that I get to call my own, and it's one of my favorite spaces because it's where I read and write, and it's where I pray for you. It's also where I journal about all my questions and all my cares, and I lay them at God's feet. For instance, this coming week, when you read day 20, you'll be invited to consider those questions you have for God. We all have questions that we look forward to asking God someday. But we can begin to ask them now, just as the prophet Habakkuk once went to God and asked him questions. We too can go to God with our questions. The answers we're searching for may come in this lifetime or in the next, but every answer can be found in God because He is the answer our hearts are longing for. Because finding sanctuary isn't about what we can do, as much as it's about who God is and what He has already done. So if you happen to feel like you're struggling with this quiet heart business, don't worry. God isn't thinking you're a failure at this quiet heart stuff. God knows what you're going through, and He is with you. And He welcomes your sincere questions. spend some time this week writing them down, and remember that everything in this world is temporary. Pain has an expiration date. So go outside this evening and lift up your eyes to watch the sun set. And know that every sunset is a promise that light will come again soon. Shalom.